It has been a tradition in mathematics, while solving complex problems, to denote known entities as ABC, the letters at the beginning of the English alphabet, and unknown ones as XYZ, the letters at the end of the alphabet. This convention, which can be traced way back to the 17th century, is still in vogue. Not only that, in recent times it has spread beyond the world of mathematics and come into common usage. It is now an accepted practice to call anything mysterious or unusual as X to begin with until it is properly identified. When the mathematical term factor is attached to X, it sounds all the more authentic. The X factor refers to a phenomenon that we cannot explain, at least for now, like a part of someone's personality or the reason behind someone's popularity or someone's unique talent. The X Factor was the name given to a reality TV show in 2004, which later became extremely popular worldwide and continued to be streamed for several years. It was actually a music competition aimed at discovering hidden talent among solo singers and music groups. Their inherent talent, stage presence, charisma all made up for that X Factor. As the contest progressed, the contestants went through increasingly tougher tests and elimination rounds until the winners were finally announced. Over the ages, human beings have asked themselves three fundamental questions at some point or another in their life. Where have I come from? Who am I? And where am I going? These three questions are easy to ask but difficult to answer. In a sense, life is like a voyage of discovery. As one grows older, one constantly reviews what one has gone through and achieved, redefines one's purpose, and sets new goals for the route further on. Even when one has reached what could be called a ripe old age, there still remains plenty to discover. But not like an explorer eyeing new lands and seas, not like an astronomer spotting distant stars and galaxies. When you are old, you begin to rediscover yourself. That is when you encounter the X factor within you, something that you have never known to have existed inside you. There could be several reasons why people discover their X factor at a late stage in life. One reason could be that they have earlier focused all their attention and energy on realizing a certain ambition or making a mark in a sport or doing some path breaking research in a challenging field. They may have achieved success at the expense of all other activities, hobbies, interests, and even talents. But when the goals have been accomplished and there is not much scope to continue further, the distraction that you have ignored on purpose all through your life returns out of nowhere and seeks your attention. This is the X factor that gives a new direction to the journey of life. It may be difficult to recognize it at first, but it ultimately occupies its rightful place in your life. You may have been a very strict person in your job environment or in your family. You may have been authoritarian and demanding, always following your rule book. But you may, later in life, discover the compassion that you kept suppressed and you switch over to becoming a social worker. It could be the other way around too. You may have lived a free life, but discover the virtues of discipline and begin to follow them and teach them to others. Old people often seem to easily forget recent things, like whether they have had their breakfast or not. But many of them develop a razor sharp memory. If you can vividly recall things that have gone into oblivion, you can use this faculty to become a historian. Athletes, cricketers, and other sports persons have very short careers. Many of them become very popular sports commentators. Likewise, those who were once actors, singers, and artists can play a very useful role as critics, judges, and reviewers. If you have accumulated a storehouse of life experiences, you can work as a counselor. Returning to those three questions, the answers lie within you. Where have I come from? It is how you have lived your life. Who am I? You are what you make of yourself. Where am I going? You're going where you decide to go. The X factor in you is waiting to be discovered within your conscience, your emotions, and your wisdom. Come find it.